This message is to my college teammates, my pro teammates, everybody across the United States, everybody across the world. In particular, you, Drew Brees. I'm not going to get on here and hammer you down. I think you're very undereducated when it comes to civil rights. I think it's fair for me to say, as an individual that is a product of the continuing fight for civil rights and the initial fight for civil rights, that you are very undereducated. You may say that, again, your folks in your family served in World War II, as did my family. And both of my grandfathers and great-grandfathers fought in wars for this country. Wow. Over here in this country, there were people of color being lynched and murdered, as did a lot of other African Americans around you that you call teammates, former teammates, college teammates. Their family, their uncles, their brothers, some their great aunts in some capacity. So there were African American males and females fighting in the same war, World War II, since we brought that up. And yeah, they fought for freedoms across the world, but yet they returned back to the United States during a time of segregation and extreme racism. They fought for a country that treated them like something beneath your shoe. Let's start with the Tuskegee Airmen. Look them up, do your research, find out about them. Find out about the Tuskegee Airmen. Just one group. African American veterans come back to this country proud, and treated like shit. They fought in the same war. So don't say just because somebody fought in a war, that means anything. That means you're higher or you're lower, is what I'm saying. That doesn't mean just because you fought in a war, you're higher or you're lower. Let's try equal. Let's try equal. You go fight, you put your life on the line somewhere else, but your life is always on the line here in the country that you went somewhere to protect. Find the irony of that. That means there's more weight on people with the skin color like mine. Beautiful brown skin. Again, I tell people, don't call me black. My beard is black. This shirt is black. My skin is brown. So we're going to start distinguishing that as well. So, young chap, I think there's a lot that you need to understand. There's a lot of people that have put their lives on the line and still doing so for this place to be a better place. Would I stand with my hand over my heart if I had to? No. Why? Because it's my choice. That's part of being in the United States of America. That's part of my forefathers fighting for rights in this country. Not saying yours didn't, but we still have to this day. Find how many other people in this nation have to do the same at this present moment right now. People got mad at Colin because he took a knee. Well, if anybody knew anything, it was a former Green Beret that suggested Colin take a knee. Let's make sure we clear all that out first. A former Green Beret suggested Colin take a knee. Now, where's the uproar with Nate Boyer? There is none, and it shouldn't be. Colin and Nate came to a common ground. Instead of Colin sitting, he took a knee. And the world, oh, not the world, the Caucasian world went ape shit behind it. Now all of a sudden, you got some narcissist saying that all the sons of bitches should be fired. Think about that. Sons of bitches. I would slap the shit out of that man if I ever got a chance to. And so should you. If somebody I'm going to stop a little bit because, Drew, I understand what you went through. You remember your college teammates felt the pain that you felt as well as a youngster. You know exactly what I'm talking about. We felt your pain as a brother when it came to what happened in your family. That's personal, but it became part of us as well because we are a family. But for us to ever be a family, there was this thing called civil rights that started taking place. So don't negate that part, because I am a product of people fighting for equal rights so I can go to any school of my choice. I am a product of people fighting for civil rights so I can actually have a conversation with a Caucasian and not get lynched. I am a product of a group of individuals, strong individuals, that said enough is enough. There needs to be a change. We are human beings. I am a product of that. I, through their blood, sweat, and tears, hard work, death as well, I was able to go to Purdue University. That's how we met. When you stop and you start thinking of the big picture, it will make sense. A lot of your teammates that you have on your offensive line, whether they're biracial, which was an ultimate no-no, or they're my skin color, which is again was an ultimate no-no, you wouldn't know us, bro. This country would be completely different. You would not know us. We probably would have a whole separate league. But then you look at history. Go into history and look at those people that stood up. Look at those people that stood up to raise awareness about things. Muhammad Ali. He's an icon. He was hated then. He's an icon now. Malcolm X, hated then, icon now. Nelson Mandela, hated then, icon now. Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., hated then, always called upon now. Even recently. Well, Dr. Martin Luther King would have protested peacefully. It's a lot of peaceful protests. Don't give me that bullshit. It's always been peaceful protests. If you walk with us, you don't have to walk against somebody. If what those police chiefs are doing and some of those National Guardsmen are doing, they understand because they come from the same ilk. They come from the same, but some get it. Some want to get it. Some want to hate it. Two brothers. Summer Olympics. 200 meters. Tommy Smith, John Carlos, gold and bronze. They held their fists up. 1968. To bring awareness to what's going on in the United States. They were stripped of their medals because they did that. They went and represented the United States, but were not able to speak on the United States. Civil rights era. Jim Brown. He's one. The list goes on and on and on. I give you some of these athletes because Colin falls in that same boat. Eric Reed falls in that same boat. In a few years, Colin's going to be, if not even right now to this present day, because he tried to warn people and people took it the wrong way. They didn't even listen to what the man was saying. They just looked at the optics. You look at me, you look at the optics. Do I look like a thug? Do I look like a thug that's looting and all? No, I look like somebody that'll whoop your ass if you cross my path the wrong way. So should everybody. I know I'll whoop your ass if you spit in my face. Or at least I damn sure die trying. I know I try to get out some motherfucking chokehold. I know that for a fucking fact. Some people don't have to worry about that though. Me trying to save my life, I get killed in the process. That's a daily occurrence. That's a daily occurrence when you look like me. Even our females, this happening to our females as well. So when you talk about civil rights, man, you got to understand. Our people have been fighting for this fucking country forever. Slaves to trying to get civil rights and equal opportunities. Look in the National Football League. How can the majority of players be of a certain color? Do they not understand the game? Oh, obviously they understand the game and they have talent to play it, but look at the coaches. I'm not knocking any of my damn coaches that I had. I love all of my coaches. But look at the coaches. Look at the hiring of the head coaches. Look into college football. HBCUs, they're full of talent. They just don't get the money. Why don't they get the money? Something to think about. So, vast majority of African Americans, just like it is in regular NCAA. But a lot of money comes in there, and how many coaches that you see that resemble the players? Now, if it's a fair board, you come in, you tell me your game, you tell me your scheme, you da. Okay, cool. But make it equal. Don't judge me because of the way I look. That's what we live in, Drew. You should know that. You live in my second home, New Orleans, a city that embraced me. They pulled you in. Do not say you don't understand how people were getting gunned down by law enforcement during Hurricane Katrina and shortly thereafter. On the bridge, inside. General Russell Honore had to come save the city and tell everybody to put down those goddamn weapons. You're not going to shoot anybody. Listen to this, man. You right there in New Orleans, a city that pulled you in, a city that's full of culture. You saw what happened in Hurricane Katrina and sit here and tell me you think it's okay. You thought it was okay. People are not allowed to cross a bridge to get from harm to safety. Barricades of police that start shooting down individuals. I'm not going to say wake up. I'm going to say open your fucking eyes. That's for everybody. Open your eyes. We all need to move in the same direction. You talk about what somebody shouldn't do. It's funny. We shouldn't get murdered in the streets. We shouldn't get shot in our own home. We shouldn't get profiled just because we're brown. I go to a certain community and look at me like, well, I have to be an athlete. That's why I'm around here. Is that right? Well, we start talking about academics and education. Purdue University. Oh, you went to Purdue University? Do I need to repeat my damn self? And I graduated with 2 degrees. Breaking all norms. Thanks to those that fought before us. Now it's our fight. And to educate time. It's time to educate the masses. It's not over when that same mentality exists. We became teammates from a thing long before us called civil rights, the civil rights movement. And it's still moving. Until you can get on board with that, you lost. The world is lost. Funny thing about sports is it's supposed to pull us together. It's supposed to pull us together. And it does pull us together. But you need to think about those that are around you. How hard it was for those around you. Drew, we know your story. The teammates at Purdue, we know your story. It's time for you to understand somebody else's story. Peace and love.